The Annihilator. This isn't the Annihilator, by the way. This is more of an old school Annihilator. Ah, yes. So, the Battle Pass will get you one of these things and a Spike review to follow. Not a bad tank either. £9.99 in the UK, $9.99 in America, €9.99. Yeah, no differential pricing apparently between currencies. Anywho, I got some things to say about this tank. The Sabotage Jog and me were playing some Saturday afternoon games, and we were working well hard at tier 9, grinding tanks, and we just were like, right, okay, I said, right, I'll get this thing out, right, mate, because I've played a few games in it, I think it's OP as hell. Let's just really take the piss and platoon it with a smasher and just see what happens. See basically how many games we can win before stopping playing, and we just started to get a little bit bored because we got to 9 before we actually lost a game, before Matchmaker actually found a team so freaking bad that we were the only 2 people left against 7 and eventually managed to lose a game. But beyond that, we found it very hard to lose. So I'm going to talk to you about the Annihilator, I'm going to talk about the tank, but I'm also going to talk about my fears for tier 7 now, because we've arrived at a place where tier 7, if you're trying to drive a tech tree tank, you're just like I know what you are, like a hit point pinata. You're just like a little tasty morsel for all of these fancy tanks that are now rocking around. You know, you got the Predator UHM, you got the flaming Smasher, you got this thing, you got Drac, you got Helsing, you got that crap tank with the massive Sulo bin gun on the front, you got fantasy tank after fantasy tank after fantasy tank. And if you're like honestly just playing, I don't know, like that poor kid who just died in a Jackson, or you know, something like your bottom tier in an MT25, or you've got the audacity to get in a Walker Bulldog or anything like that, I really do worry now that in this tier you're going to find it very hard to do anything. And this tank is the latest expression of that, if you like. And the Sabotage Jog and I were saying after we'd literally finished taking the piss for an afternoon that we do think that there ought to just be a separate tier 7 sort of league for all these fancy tanks. Dump them all in there and then give people, you know, honestly playing tech tree tanks a chance, because driving tanks like this, it's just, it is seal clubbing and it is literally stat padding. It honestly is. I'm driving this tank, and if I'm doing less than my current score, which is about 1.8k in the tank, I've had a bad game. And that's bonkers. My average damage is way below that. My average damage is about 1,000, slightly under actually. My average win rate at tier 7's like 55%. I've taken this thing out, I'm on 87% after 20 games, which is bonkers. And why the tank is so bonkers, let's talk about the qualities, is the gun. So effectively, unlike the Helsing, there's no bloom between the shots. Anyone tells you there is, that they're not right. There is no bloom between the shots. If you aim up, watch this, all 3 shots will go in. And that's dumping 600 damage. Now, right enough, if you're missing one of them shots, your DPM's going to drop. But if you know what you're doing, you're not going to. The second thing is the turret, although pennable with premium ammunition, it is pretty much made of unobtainium. It has like a really tough turret. It has gun depression, which is just ridiculous. The mobility on the tank is not at all bad. It really does sort of get around the place. And I've noticed in a lot of the reviews, people haven't talked about this, it goes backwards about as quickly as it goes forwards. You can reverse out situations, no worries at all. And that's like the first game in it, and you can see I didn't have to work very hard, really, to be quite frank. I mean, 3k damage. 3k damage is a third. So you tell me that there aren't people doing massive numbers in this tank. I mean, that's just bonkers, man. If you're playing against the tank, the best advice I can give you is avoid it. But on a serious note, I mean, if you sit in front of it, and you allow all 3 shots to go in, that's a bad thing. You won't be aiming at the hull, so like the lower plate in the front of the hull, or the sides or the back. But I mean, to be honest, it seems to have spaced armour on the sides, so I've bounced shots on the sides, which is just ridiculous. If you're top tier in a heavy, and I met a couple of these in a Lerva in a raids game, what you want to do is face hug it and pin it against a wall and take it out. And actually, some of the tier 8 heavies do have the capability to do that. But if you're playing one of these things, even in a tier 8 heavy, if I put premium ammunition in this tank, I can go straight through the lower plate of an IS-5. So if you know the weak spots on tanks, look at this KV-3. Like, right enough, I didn't pen all my shots because I'm engaging a KV-3 over distance, but that's a super heavy. Could still go through the bottom plate with this tank. It's just a tad broken. And people have made comparisons between this and the Gravedigger. Nah, they're simply not right. The pen on the gun in the Gravedigger ain't great. It doesn't do a lot of damage per shot. It's really pretty damn unlikely you're going to unload an entire clip in a Gravedigger into something. With this, you can pop up look at the wait for this KV-3 in a minute, right? It's just going to drive in front of this. So bam, bam, bam. There you go. And then the smasher. Like, it's not right, is it? It's not. It can't be right. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ace this tank. I'm going to play it 100 games. I'm going to put it down. Look, Leo, that is a really good tank. I just made it look like a weak tin box. I've just strolled around there and wrecked that kid's day. And the more I was playing it, the more, I don't know, I was enjoying. I mean, it's quite good fun to play, but I was just sort of getting more and more, in a strange kind of way, angry that this thing exists. And I was killing stuff and, you know, like heavy tanks and stuff, and I was just going, like, that noise. Like, really? Frickin' really? For a game you love, the diversity of the ecosystem in Blitz, all the tanks that you can play, I'm just driving around doing this, going, yeah, bounce a Tiger P in the turret, yep, because the turret is flaming OP. And then watch this. This is the actual reason I put this in. Look at the top hatch on the Tiger P. Yeah. That shouldn't be possible. I mean, I know I'm engaging it up close and all the rest of it, but there was no bloom between those shots. It was just like bam, bam, bam. It's like the first shot went in and the other two went wide, that they all went in. You know, that's a really decent tier 7 heavy. Look, I'm just switched to AP. Nah. Tank is broken. It's just broken. And, you know, it can't be nerfed, apparently, because it's a premium tank. It's an absolute bloody menace, and tier 7's going to be full of them. So, yeah, there's the review. I mean, is it worth the money? Hell yeah. Should you be spamming it? Please don't. Anyway, see ya. Bye.